Welcome! Yay! Welcome. The last time we did a YouTube live was when we bought the bus and did a bus update back in Illinois in July. So we had talked about doing a lot more YouTube lives, and here we are 6 months later doing a YouTube live.
In Quartzsite, Arizona.
Yes, we're in Quartzsite, Arizona. And we recently finally got our residency transferred from California to Utah. And doing that was not just a easy peasy, transition. We were both born and raised in California. Everything we had residency-wise was in California. So really taking the time to transfer everything from California to another state was a process. And we're 19 months in, I think, about 19
Something
months
like
in
that.
to, hey, Captain Jack Scraper, ahoy!
Ahoy!
Yay! We're 19 months in, and we finally settled on Utah being our state of residency. So we actually just went there for the day to get all of that physical driver's license stuff done. But we will most likely spend a lot more time in Utah this coming year. But residency, I think, is more than just as a nomad where you spend a lot of your time. There's a whole checklist of things out there for people that are nomads about where to be a resident. A lot of the snowbirds, which are the people that are retired or retirement age and do not have children, choose Florida or South Dakota.
Every state has a perk depending on
Scrapper.
what you're looking for.
Scrapping metals. Okay. Instead of scraper. Thanks, my scrapper. Thanks, Captain Jack.
I think the Scrapping Metals is the YouTube channel that he's promoting. I believe that's correct. So.
Scrapper. Well, that's how you said it, because I said scraper. So he was like, thanks,
Oh.
scrapping metals.
Oh, well, I watched a video of yours, and it was about the metal scrapper. So I guess I'm wrong.
Scrapping.
Anyhow.
Metals. All
Okay.
right.
Moving on.
So we had quite a few questions roll in, especially because we did what we did. We were going to, after Thanksgiving, actually drive the bus into Utah and spend some time in Utah getting our driver's license and everything like that. We ended up...
Well, the reason why we decided to choose Utah as a residency is the homeschooling laws are more lenient there, allowing us to...
I was saying why people were asking us questions in
Oh,
the
I'm
first
sorry.
place.
All right, go ahead.
Because that's the whole process.
All right.
The reason this question even came up is what I was getting at. The reason this question even came up was because we were going to drive the bus into Utah, and then suddenly we showed that we were on an airplane flying to Utah with the kids with no bus. So that was our social media post that triggered all of these questions that we are going to be answering in this YouTube live. I think that makes sense, right?
Sure.
Okay, now we're kind of like on the why we're doing this. It's some kind of music channel thing. Okay. So we flew because originally Travis and I were just going to go, and it ended up being a lot cheaper than the gas to go. And then the kids wanted to go. And so we called. It was a week after we had already booked our flights. We were able to get them for relatively the same amount as our tickets. So they ended up just coming with us, which ended up being a little bit more gas-wise, but way more convenient and didn't take us a week and a half to do it.
The kids are so close to us that they couldn't, the idea of us being so far apart for so long made them very sad. So
yeah.
We went ahead and purchased the tickets to get everybody on board and go take care of that.
And it ended up being perfect anyway. It worked out really perfect.
It was a very long day.
Very long day.
That's good.
So why Utah? and where does this go from here? So to give you a little bit of a background, in California, it is actually illegal. There is no way to homeschool. Homeschooling is illegal in California. So you can either go through a charter school that allows for you to school your children at home through the charter school, or what we did is we actually signed up through California as a private school. So we were not homeschooling. We were technically a private school run out of our home in California. So there was a lot of kind of...
Trying to get through it. You guys can come through this way.
And come through this way? Hello.
Hello.
There was a lot of things with us traveling on the road, with us being away from our physical location, the home that we had the address signed up for as a private school. It just didn't make sense to even stay homeschooling in California because our residency there didn't make sense as far as homeschooling and things like that. So our first order of looking for a state to make our new residency was the homeschooling
Captain
laws.
Jack says, "Ahoy, kids."
You say, "Hi, Captain Jack."
Hi, Captain Jack. Hi, Weirdo Jack. We don't know you.
We don't know lots of people yet. They're our friends, right? So we'll meet them all one day. So we get to a narrowing down. You can actually find on like homeschooling sites a way to look up what states are great homeschooling states. And there's some states that are better than others. Most states require you to fill out some sort of form. Some states like Arkansas require proof of your curriculum that you're teaching. Arizona is a one-time form. You file an intent to homeschool, and there it is. You'll know me soon enough, right? So with this, it was important for us to be able to have freedom in the homeschooling that we do. So we actually don't use curriculum. The curriculum that we use to teach not only ourselves but our children is life. Everywhere that we travel, we're actually looking at maps, we're studying where we're going, we're looking at the geography, the animals, the plants, calculating the miles from there to there, using money. So we don't have a curriculum that we are following. We are very much using a life curriculum, or otherwise called unschooling. So the kids learn by
road schooling,
world schooling, wild schooling. There's a lot of these alternative schooling methods that we use. So that was order number one, to find a state that would not only support homeschooling and that we'd have to, check off these boxes, but really that we could school in a way that is serving our family best.
Yeah, that way people aren't telling us how we should school our children. Because of the, current status in society nowadays with schooling as it is, they're not really teaching any of the actual fundamentals of life outside of that. They don't teach them anything on how to use money,
entrepreneurship, which is really important to us.
Mm-hmm. So they're doing basic, arithmetic and
reading,
vocabulary,
writing, arithmetic, and those are great. But children want to learn those because those are just a normal part of society. So instead of it being a separate thing, we learn how to read in everyday life.
We're incorporating life skills every day.
And it made a giant earthquake.
Right?
I love it. Captain Jack is welcome. Yeah, I love that you're our Captain Jack is the welcome crew in the chat room. So please introduce yourself if you're here.
Thanks, Captain Jack.
I appreciate it. So really what we really are excited about is showing and helping people realize that what we're doing is a normal part of life. children learn through experiences. We learn through experiences. So creating space to help people learn by experiencing life rather than just reading about life or, cognitively learning something. It's not quite the same as experiencing it. And I get not everybody can travel full time, but there is a way to start going out into your community more, getting outside and being in nature more, spending weekends exploring and just learning, because you can't help but learn when you step outside of your comfort zone.
And our channel is Homeschooling. Obviously, we are homeschooling. We don't have very many videos of actual homeschooling going on, but I find making those types of recordings are kind of difficult because they're boring to me.
What are boring?
But I think over time with our channel, you'll be able to see that unravel, the travels the things that we're doing, and it'll all start to make sense soon enough.
And as I love Captain Jack's comment. He's like, the way you have this set up and how you're addressing us is the best I've ever seen. This is really how we want our YouTube to be. We don't want to be these like separate entities. We're human. We want this connection. We want to be connected to those who are watching our videos and following our journey. We want to be able to have this interaction with you. So we're really grateful that you're here and you're commenting so that we can have this interaction, because that's what this is all about.
We want to stay true to ourselves and honest with ourselves and honest with you guys as well. That's part of the documentary. So when you go back into some of our earlier stuff, you can kind of see what we're reaching for. And we're still working on little quirks and things as far as trying to capture our lifestyle on camera. But it's a difficult thing to do because we don't want to have the kids too much on camera, because they don't have the choice and the decision in the matter. For one, like I said, two, homeschooling, making videos of homeschooling without having particular topics is difficult. But you could see that our travels and the way that we're explaining is that our life every day is a learning process. All of us are in school and we're always learning and continuing our education every day. So
yeah,
that in itself, it's kind of hard to capture. But like I said, in time, it'll be relevant.
Come about. Yeah. And so the second aspect where people had a lot of questions was, well, homeschooling is allowed in all sorts of states, like with the letter of intent that you have to do in Arizona. There is another aspect that was really important to us, and that is medical freedom. So having the choice to choose whether we want to do procedures if we were to bring our kids into the emergency room or even the urgent care, having medical freedom to what time do I come to school? I love anytime. Having medical freedom was something that was really important to us, because
we practice a lot of alternative medicines. And
if you've been following, you know that I do herbal remedies. You know that I do, I used to do massage therapy. I have a psychology degree. So I started off in the Western medicine world, and our entire family has gone more in the direction of alternative medicine.
Mm-hmm.
So, if we're in an emergency room, it's because we actually need emergency services. It's not for the flu. It's not for an infection. It's not for anything that a plant couldn't remedy. It's because, somebody is like bleeding and needs to be sewn back together.
Yeah. And as far as that goes, there are some states that will want to implement certain types of shots and things like that. What are they called?
I don't want to use that word.
Yeah. So, but
that word.
there's states that won't let you live life the way you want to, and they'll force you to do things that you don't want to do. And if you decide not to do them, there could be repercussions for that. So. that again is why we chose Utah.
Yeah. So because of the church that is in Utah, they have a lot of jurisdiction, and the government there. The separation of church and state within Utah is very big and very powerful. So with that, in going into consideration of that for us felt actually like the best choice for our family.
It allows us the freedom to practice our own freedoms.
Our own, and the church that is in Utah is very much for alternative medicine. They're for natural remedies. If you know anything about them, they're very big on prepping and having food, organic food, and things like this. So they very much like to keep the state and the government out of the lives of their family and their children. So with all the research that we did, this is why it took us a full 17 months of deciding, because this wasn't just, oh, this one looks good, let's go here. I really wanted to choose a state that if we needed to, there's a lot of political stuff going on in whatever direction you are in that political state. We wanted to just make sure that we had a state that we could go to physically and know that our rights were going to be covered. We could homeschool the kids. We could have medical understanding. And these were all important
And we
aspects.
like Utah. So it works.
It's beautiful, right?
Mark Wilson says, "School with a message." Yes, and that's kind of what we're trying to portray here with what we're doing. And
I lost the silver crystal.
You all are sitting like a foot in front of me. Yes, we are in your living room now, right?
Come on in.
Welcome. Yeah, it's really fun. I've been doing Facebook Lives for over 3 years now, and absolutely love the Facebook Live aspect. So when Travis and I knew that we were going to be doing YouTube Lives and really having this interaction of being able to talk directly with the people that are not traveling with us was something really important to me to implement. So I would like to be doing this on a regular basis because this interaction is really fun. Yeah. And then we actually get to know you guys, what kind of videos you're wanting to see, what information you're wanting us to show. And then we can kind of
interactive topics that we can all learn from each other. And that, I mean, if we can help to educate each other at the same time, it's not just us, saying what we feel and think. We want that feedback. So we can get a good feel for what other people think and how to do things. A massage.
Yeah, he said massage, not message. School has started. School with a massage.
Closer. Yes.
I actually would have done better in school, right? Yes, right? I know.
That's funny.
Well, I think anything you post about any subject, I will watch. And we are so grateful for you for doing that, Captain Jack.
Yes, thank you.
The view time that Captain Jack has given us has made us so much closer to monetization. So thank you.
So he has a good understanding of, who we are and, how we stand and what we are trying to do here. And I think that's the important thing. But, we need to get ourselves some more content that is similar to this, because this is kind of like the homeschooling content, so to speak. Zion's getting in
really
the noisy fridge. You need something, bud?
It's really squeaky. What do you need?
Crackers and turkey.
There's no more of those. There's turkey and cheese in there. Grab the bin.
All right.
So there was another question. So I think I might have kind of answered that of, are we going to be settling down in Utah? The answer is no. So
not now, anyhow.
Well,
yeah.
I personally do not see us, I don't have WD-40 time for sure. They're already cut up.
I actually use a silicone lubricant because WD-40 collects dust, which will make it squeak again sooner. But there's a silicone-based lubricant that doesn't collect as much dust and lasts a lot longer. I'll have to get that can out and show you.
And use it.
Yeah, it works great on all the bus windows too.
Obviously.
I just did that. Oh, I didn't do the fridge. I just did the doors the other day.
Oh, thanks, Captain Jack. Oh my goodness. So, there is, I'll be starting a channel soon. I'll comment later with my channel's name. Cool. That's awesome. So we love being nomadic. So if you haven't been with us since the very beginning, we did not actually, our intention was not actually to travel full time. Our intention, do you want to come sit down and eat your cheese and turkey sandwich? So the intention was to actually travel the country to as many states as possible and find out what state we wanted to settle down in and create a homestead and a retreat center and build an intentional community.
Mm-hmm.
And
we were on the road for about 4 months and looked around and realized like this is the best lifestyle we could ever had. So after that point, we set our sights on trying to maintain sustainability on the road. And that's where we're still at, and we're working on, getting our channel going. We're working on getting our website going, and our tinctures, salves, and alternative medicines. And
Zion, Mark would like to know if you brought enough to share with the rest of the class.
Yes. Never mind.
Oh. You have to pack your own lunch for this classroom.
Yeah. So, where were we?
Creating sustainability.
Oh,
so we're constantly honing in on what it is that we're passionate about, what it is that we want to focus on,
But I think that through being able to travel full time allows us the ability and the time to pursue our passions. And it's just finding out what that exactly entails, and how to incorporate that into a way to produce an income that, keeps us going down the road. And we find that through communities, that's kind of helping with going to all these different events, because we're meeting people that is the community, and volunteering to help build that up. That is our passion. At the moment, there's really no money in it, but that's what we enjoy doing, because that's what we sought out to do in the beginning. So I think we'll just keep working on doing that because we enjoy doing it, and everything else will kind of fall into place, I think. So fingers crossed.
Yeah. And there's
This time I brought a nap.
This time you brought enough to share with everybody.
Make sure you guys use napkins and not your clothes. Yeah.
So there's, I just lost my train of thought. Raisins cap. So the sustainability aspect, we're here in Quartzsite. We're physically at Tyson Wells today.
Is there any more cheese sticks?
There was only 2 left.
No. So get the cheese out and cut it up. So we're physically at Tyson Wells right now, and we paid for a vending spot for the week.
Since we were passing through anyway from Prescott to California for the holidays.
You're definitely in our house right now.
Yeah, we're in your house.
We are in your house making
snacks.
Making some snacks.
Yeah.
So we have been setting our table up every day, and I've been sharing the tinctures and herbal remedies that I make with those coming through and passing by. It's pretty slow here right now, but we wanted to give it a try, and we know that there's going to be a lot of people from not only our YouTube community, but other communities that are going to be coming through Quartzsite. So we wanted to see and give this.
Yeah, we're trying to reach out to people and show them that these tinctures and salves do work. And the people that give us a chance and take them and use them are astounded by the results. So that's where we're at, is trying to figure out how to reach people with what we have, and that goes hand in hand with our message and our channel and everything that we're doing. And I think it's all gonna work out soon enough. We just keep on hammering away at it. And,
I agree. Captain Jack said the nomadic community supports us all, the interaction, the helping each other, the growth. It all brings joy and harmony. And then Mark says y'all are welcome to come to New York. He has 47 acres for boondocking while we're visiting.
oh, nice.
That
Thanks,
would be
Mark.
awesome. Half a stale Snickers bar. I love these comments. So there's a realness that we really wanted to bring to YouTube. There's a lot of Instagram people. There's a lot of YouTubers who are doing bus life and schoolie conversion life, and it's perfection.
Well, and there's I see a lot of videos about how everybody's posting their life on Instagram and Facebook, but behind the scenes, they're not really happy. And we want to show you that we are actually genuinely happy. And the old life that we left behind, it couldn't have gotten any better.
Oh, man.
So being on the road has actually made me happier. And anybody that sees the first videos can see that already.
Yeah.
The change. And it's just, life's getting better.
So,
mentally, I think that's where it's at.
Yeah.
Because it's all in the mind.
Well, and I think there is this pursuit, even in the schoolie world, of creating
Cheyenne, no thank you.
The perfection, right? That same Instagram picture perfect world in the traveling nomadic lifestyle. And the nomadic lifestyle has really shown us that it is all about personal growth. It is all about going within. It is, if we're not happy within our own skin, no matter where we travel in the country, we're not going to be happy. And so Travis's journey has really been helping me realize that this is what I'm helping people do. And Travis's own personal journey has kind of helped bring into light that there is multiple ways of finding happiness. The healing that I do is not for everyone. He was able to, find his own path and use his own skills to help. Mark says, I'm not happy, I try. Yeah, and I think that's where an honest conversation comes in, that there's a lot of people living in the most, we live in this beautifully abundant country.
And Mark, to just cap on that, and that's why we want to document everything we're doing, because we want to show the real results of where we come from and where we're headed and what we're doing. That way, over the span of time, we're going to figure out, try to figure out what works physically, mentally,
emotionally and spiritually.
And be able to document that to show, like, this is how we did it. So it can be possible for everyone else. And that's the idea.
Yeah.
So, it's going to take some time to really get to know us, and for us to go through some of our past, I think, to see where we're at now. But in time, I think that's the idea, is to try to help educate and bring happiness and joy to the world. And I think community on the road has done a big thing for that, because we have more community on the road in the last almost 2 years that we've been traveling now versus the last 20 years I spent on the mountain where I came from. So
and more connection, more honest interactions. Once we left a town or a city, we were only spending, maybe a day to a week with the people that we would come into contact with. And the depth and the honesty and the amount of connection was very quick and very deep and intimate. And these intimate conversations don't happen a lot in everyday life. So we want to create a space where we can actually get real. Like, let's have real conversations about what's going on. Let's talk about why we're doing the things that we're doing, and really creating space for us to have honest conversations, because, to be honest, there's not a lot of avenues in order to do this out in mainstream world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Your growth along the way is like a living, breathing photo album, and your children and grandchildren will benefit and cherish every vlog you create. That was definitely, yeah.
And that's the thing about us starting YouTube, was that I found inspiration through other people doing their YouTube. And there's a sailing channel, SB Delos, that I watch, and they're like, to me, they document their travels on the ocean. They travel, but I found inspiration through that and other people doing it. So I figured, I should share what we're doing to inspire, because I mean, if I can be inspired by other people, I think it's good for us to do the same thing. And I think what better way to live a lifestyle than to help inspire and bring that to the world. So
and good morning, John from the mountain. Hello.
Morning.
So I'm not gonna eat a turkey.
Cyan, can you share, please?
Please share your
Thank
snacks.
you.
Thanks.
You already had a bunch.
Share the cheese.
Yep,
share the
plenty.
turkey.
All
Sharing.
right. So
I guess to wrap it up, right? We're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, we got to get to work.
We're gonna wrap it up, but please feel free to reach out, comment on this, ask questions, share what's going on in your journey. And if there's anything that in our own journey of just coming into our own wholeness and our own space of kind of happiness and peace we can share or impart with you through these Facebook Lives, that's what we want to be doing. We feel like we are in service by sharing our own journey. And there's a lot of, I do work with clients on a personal basis to help them heal, but sharing our journey together in this lifestyle is something that we want to just share freely with everybody to help inspire.
The end. This guy is tooted.
All right, guys. Well, we started out why we chose Utah. I think we covered that a little bit. If you have any more questions about that, just send us a message.
I love it.
And
So
I like where this conversation went, though.
I do too.
Yeah, and this is how I'd like to have them all go. Just kind of flow with the current. So
a tutor bug.
She is
for
a tutor
sure.
bug. All morning.
Oh gosh. So thanks, Captain Jack. He says we've inspired him even when doing engine or building a toilet, spreading sawdust all over your
8
schooling.
degrees.
And
I feel you there.
Mark, nice warm 8 degrees today.
See, our bus, we decided not to tear the ceilings out and insulate the bus, so we have to stay where it's warm. But when it's 40 degrees outside, it's 40 degrees in here.
Yeah, we're at a really nice.
It's a little warmer today. We're sitting in the sun. So, but we're gonna sign off. Thanks, guys, for joining in the chat and hanging out with us. It's been cool. And we'll see if we can get to do this next week.
We'll see you. We'll see you soon.
Yeah.
And thanks for being here, sharing the morning with us. Fair winds, smiles, and may God bless you too, Captain Jack. And hey, Mark has a 7-year-old, Skyan. Mark has a 7-year-old who's a tutor bug as well. So if we ever get to New York, you guys could be tutor bugs together. So I love it.
All right, guys.
So perfect. All right. Have a great day.